One of the most confounding aspects of breathing dysfunction, especially asthma, is that a lot of what's going on is counterintuitive. For example, in asthma, the greatest difficulty is not the actual inhalation, but the exhalation, which sounds really strange to any asthmatic because the experience feels like you cannot get the air in. However, that's sort of a problem with the mechanism of breathing because we cannot exhale effectively. The carbon dioxide is building up in the body and we are getting a signal that we need to breathe more to balance the gases, the oxygen and the carbon dioxide in the body. So because we can't expel the air, we feel like we need to breathe more. So we take a bigger breath in and then that feedback loop just gets out of control. Another counterintuitive aspect of asthma is we feel like we should breathe more, when in fact what we need to do is breathe less. And when you try and introduce this concept to an asthmatic, it seems so foreign, it's almost disregarded immediately. I speak completely from experience because when I was first introduced to the Buteyko method, I thought it sounded crazy. My experience was that I needed to breathe more, not less. And it's not until I got to the point where my asthma got bad enough that I really had to do something about it that I began to investigate different ways of breathing. And it just so happened that the breathing mechanism I taught myself was very similar to a part of the Buteyko method called breathe light. And that's what this video is about. This video is about the simple practice of breathe light to help you understand your breathing mechanics and also to gently introduce a feeling of air hunger and also give you the opportunity to relax into the sensation of breathlessness. So one way I like to think of breathe light is it works in many different ways. One, it introduces the feeling of air hunger, which is this need to breathe, a feeling of breathlessness. It's the signal that your body gets from the carbon dioxide building that says, please breathe out so you can breathe back in. And as an asthmatic, that's part of the entire dysfunction, the way that that whole breathe out, breathe in thing is not quite functioning correctly. So we get to practice breathing less in a controlled manner so we can deal with the sensations of feeling breathless. It also helps train the body to become more tolerant to the buildup of carbon dioxide. Now, carbon dioxide is not merely a waste gas. In fact, we really need it in the body, and that would be a subject for another video. But for our purposes today, the idea is more the physiological and associated to that, the psychological practice of breathing light. So let's just discuss what we're actually aiming to achieve. We're looking to breathe less volume in. So if we assume we breathe 100%, we just want to drop that by about a third. So we're breathing in 2/3 of the normal volume of air. And the way we achieve that is just by softening the breath, almost so we breathe in so we can't feel the sensation of the air going in through the nose, of course. Now, this is a really important aspect of not just the Buteyko method, but functional breathing in general. Close the mouth, breathe through the nose. Now, if your nose is blocked, just quickly, we can affect opening of the nose with what we call a nose unblocking exercise. And that's quite simply closing the mouth and breathing through the nose. But if your nose is blocked, clearly in and out through the mouth. On the exhale, pinch and hold the nose. And gently move your head up and down as if you're nodding until you need to breathe. Now what happens is that build-up in your body of carbon dioxide functions to open up the airways. There also might be a nitric oxide component to what's going on here. Jury's still out on that one. I think it's not just the carbon dioxide that does this, but there's something that happens with that breath hold on the exhalation, and the movement does something as well. Suffice to say it works. Does it work on the first time you do it? Maybe not. You may need to pause and do this 5, 6, 7, maybe 10 times. On the odd occasion, this doesn't clear the nose, but most of the time it does. So assuming your nose is now clear, mouth closed, the idea of breathing gently through the nose is just to soften the breath. Don't concern yourself with which part of your torso you're breathing into, whether you're breathing into your belly, whether you're using diaphragmatic breathing, or whether you're breathing into your chest. For the moment, don't concern yourself about that. Don't even concern yourself with the length of your breath. Simply concern yourself with volume of the breath. So it's a gentle breath in and a gentle breath out. In fact, that exhalation happens all by itself. Gentle breath in, and then let the air just go out all by itself. Gentle breath in. Exhale happens all by itself. Gentle breath in. And the exhalation happens all by itself. Now, if you would like to, for some extra information, you can put your hands on your body. One hand just above your belly button, so it's around about that diaphragm area. Other hand on the chest. Again, you're not really focusing on where the air's going, but this just gives you a little bit more information, some feedback about what you're doing. And again, softening the breath through the nose. One of my favorite ways to find how well I'm doing this exercise, again, we're not aiming for perfection, but it's interesting to have different forms of feedback to show you how well you're doing, and in fact, if it's working for you. I like putting the finger under the nose. And what I'm looking for here is just the sensation of the air going in and out on my finger. The fingers, because they're part of the hands, are a very sensitive device. And you can quite easily, especially if you try it for a moment, just breathing a little heavier, you can really feel that on your finger. Now, if you ease off again so that you're dropping 30%, around about 2/3 is what the volume you're aiming for. And on your finger, you should hardly feel any sensation of air going in or out, maybe none at all. Now, what's going to happen in your body? You will at some point start to feel this idea of air hunger, of breathlessness, of the desire to breathe again. This should not be too great. You should not need to gulp a big breath of air in. What we're looking for is the ability to relax into that sensation of breathlessness, that sensation of air hunger. So as we're breathing softly through the nose, gently through the nose, when the sensation of air hunger arises, and it should only be slight to moderate, we relax the body into that feeling. Now, this is very important for asthmatics because we do feel breathless when symptoms are coming on. And this practice helps us to become less sensitive, less panicked when those sensations come. But it also trains the body to breathe more functionally, more efficiently, and more effectively. There's a multifaceted approach to functional breathing. Or here. Now, if you were to practice this, you could do this for 2, 3, 4 minutes and then have a minute's rest and do 4 or 5 rounds. But don't push it. And please do not aim for perfection. Breath practice is not about perfection. Making videos apparently is not about perfection either. So while you're not aiming for perfection, you're just aiming for consistent practice. The more you do this, the more your breathing function, your efficiency and your effectiveness will improve. And as it improves, the dysfunction in any breathing diminishes. Buteyko has been proven to reverse asthma. There are people who have been practicing Buteyko that do not have asthma symptoms, that do not need medication any longer. Now, I don't know if that will happen for you, but it's a possibility. And it begins with the practice. And Breathe Light is a very, very important part of the Buteyko method. Thank you for your time and thank you for watching this video. If you're interested in the Buteyko method or any other breathing methods, that's what I do here on the Breathe with Adam channel. Please consider subscribing. I would appreciate if you would like this video because it will give the algorithm some idea that people are interested and it will share it to more people who can get some benefit. Perhaps share this video with a friend that may benefit as well. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. Be well and breathe easy.